president, in his conversation with President Xi, made clear that Congress is an independent branch of government, and that Speaker Pelosi makes her own decisions, as other members of Congress do, about their overseas travel. That was made clear.
For more now, let's bring in ABC News national security and defense analyst and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East, Mick Mulroy. So, Mick, what did you make of what we heard? You know, the Biden administration is encouraging Pelosi to avoid visiting Taiwan, but if she were to go, what would she want to accomplish specifically? And how does it look if she ignores exactly what the administration wants?
So, Kira, there is some concern that the Chinese government doesn't understand our chain of command. The speaker is, of course, in the succession of the president, but is a completely separate branch of government and doesn't answer to the president and doesn't represent the president. So I would agree with Mr. Kirby that they should know that. But that is one of the issues that we need to address. I do think it's important to point out that we have not changed our policy. There is a one China policy, and that speakers have visited in the past. So this shouldn't be the kind of histrionic response, I think, of the Chinese. She is a civilian. She's going with the civilian staff. And I think she is going to reinforce what the president already has. We have a one China policy, but just like Mr. Kirby just said, we do have a legal responsibilities to support Taiwan. So I think there's many reasons to go and many reasons for the speaker to do that. But I don't see that this is changing anything, and I don't think it is a good thing that the Chinese are making such a big deal about this.
So you say there are good reasons to go. Lay out some of those good reasons for us, Mick.
So we have a legal obligation to support militarily Taiwan. That doesn't mean we'd send troops, but just like we're doing in Ukraine, we're sending weapon systems. That could happen here too, and we will support them. We don't want China to launch a military invasion of Taiwan. That would disrupt so many of the world's economic processes. And of course, again, we have an obligation to support them. So I think that is part of the reasons why that she will go there. And now that Chinese have made such a big deal about it, I don't think she can back down, because then she would have been capitulating to China. So I think she will go ahead with this, and hopefully nothing will happen. I don't think anything will happen. Perhaps some more live fire, unannounced exercises in Taiwan Straits. But let's hope that nothing escalates while she is there, or any disruption in her effort to get there and to depart the island.
Well, let me follow up with those live fire exercises, because if she does end up visiting Taiwan, she will be the highest ranking U.S. official, as you mentioned, to visit the island in, 25 years. But is the risk worth the reward here? Can she accomplish anything besides making China angry at this point?
So likely this will not accomplish that much, although congressional visits usually are more about gathering information so that they have the type of information they need to make legislation when it comes to supporting and distributing our budget. So these happen all the time. They happen to Taiwan, quite frankly, quite often. She's just the highest person from the legislative branch that's been visiting, as you said, since Newt Gingrich did 25 years ago. So I wouldn't see a lot coming out of it. I just don't think it should be this level of concern by the Chinese. She is a civilian. Yes, she's on a military aircraft, but she's with civilian staff. This is just I would gather, a fact-finding information visit, and it will be over, and nothing will have changed by U.S. policy. So let's hope that the Chinese are essentially all bluster and none of this is actually going to come to fruition.
From your experience, do you see it more as bluster? Could we face retaliation from China? We're seeing the saber rattling, clearly.
I hope it is bluster, because this, whenever you have countries of our level, superpowers, where they're threatening to use military action, anything could kick it off into something much larger that would not be beneficial to either country. So I hope it is bluster. I think it is bluster. They will likely have to do something after all of this talk. But I think the United States is right in the sense that we don't view this as that big of a difference. We still have the same policy toward China, a one China policy, and that this should be viewed as just what it is, a senior congressional visit to Taiwan, which happens, quite frankly, on a regular basis, at least a congressional visit.
I know we're talking about a lot of what ifs, but look, John Kirby just addressed it from the White House as well. So if indeed China were to attack Taiwan, what would that look like? What countries would become key players here?
So certainly the United States is going to be probably the most key player in this. From a military analyst point of view, I don't think China is ready for that. It is much more complicated of an operation, an amphibious invasion of a fortified island, than any other military endeavors. So I don't think that is likely to happen. Perhaps maybe a missile shot at Taiwan or something to show their displeasure. But I don't think a full-on military invasion of Taiwan is anywhere in the cards for any time soon.
Okay, from your mouth to God's ears. Mick Mulroy, you are the one with the background. We listen to you. Thanks, Mick.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.